This video is going to be a mess, and I'd really like to apologize for that. Hey everyone! So I'm really excited today because finally, after years and years of just watching other people do the reading rush, once called the Booktubeathon, I decided to participate because now there seems to be some point in it because I have a channel, so it's like, it just makes more sense. So today I'm coming to you with my TBR for the reading rush that's gonna take place from the 19th of July to the 26th of July. Basically, it's a time in which you just read as many books as you can. There are some prompts and reading challenges to guide you as you're choosing the books to read. You can mix them up and you can combine the books to fit more than one challenge, and it's just very flexible, but it's just so much fun, and I'm so excited to participate and to try to read as much as I can. So let me take you through the books that I'm planning to read. So the first challenge is to read a book with a cover that matches the color of your birthstone. And I checked and my birthstone is blue topaz, and I just thought I'm gonna try to pick a book with something blue-ish on the cover to sort of fit. So the book I picked for this challenge is Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. So I have hardly any idea what this book is about. I just know it's set in a cafe in Tokyo, and some people can travel in time and they have to get back before the coffee gets cold, I think. I don't know, but I'm on this mission to read more diverse reads from different continents and countries and not just American books all the time. I'm very excited for it. I've heard very little about it, but that makes it even more exciting actually. And as you can see right here, the cover is bluish, kind of. It kind of matches, so yeah. But because I can't really predict ever what I'm gonna read, I have a second option, and that is a book I just, like 10 minutes ago, I just randomly bought it, and I can't explain why. And that is When All Is Said by Anne Griffin. It kind of also matches, I feel like the font matches more than the background on the cover, but I think it's still fine. And once again, I don't really know what this book is about. There's this guy, I think, in another cafe, which I didn't really think about when picking these two books for the same challenge, because that's kind of the same vibe. Or maybe it's a bar. I think it's a bar. So he's in a bar and there are 5 people that come to see him, and it's sort of him thinking about his life and about these people and what he's accomplished, because I think he's this old man that's gonna die soon or something, and he's looking back on his life, and that just sounds very interesting. These two books actually seem to have a very similar vibe around it, and I also think it's about a certain number of characters. And Before the Coffee Gets Cold, we have 4 visitors, and When All Is Said and Done, there are 5 visitors. So that's a very similar thing going on there, but also I'm really excited for this book. I don't know why. It just sounds really fun. The next challenge is to read a book that starts with the word the. And for this book I also have 2 options because I don't know what I'll be feeling like for that in that particular week. So the first book is The Storied Life of A.J. Fikry by Gabrielle Zavin, and as far as I'm concerned, this is a book about a girl who's growing up in a bookstore. And if that doesn't sound like the best book idea in the world, then I really don't know what does. This is the story of how unexpected love can rescue you and bring you back to real life, in a world that you won't want to leave, with characters that you'll come to love. It's really hard to pick books on the basis of such a sentence, because I feel like there's always this one sentence that can make you feel it's an amazing book, and then you read it and then it's not. But anyways, I've seen this book more often than the other 2 books I talked about, and it's apparently this like heartwarming and great read for any book lover, so I just thought it's a perfect opportunity, and it was on sale on Amazon, so you know, it worked. And if I don't feel like reading that, I have The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, and this book is a classic that I really love, and each year I try to revisit it, you know, with a bit of a new mindset and some new experiences, and kind of see how it influenced me. And I love going back into a book and seeing what changed in me since then and what I pick up now and what I used to think about it. And The Little Prince is always this book that I come to and I find something new and I just find new interpretation or a new important message that speaks to me right now. So I think it would be great if I came back to it and revisited it. And I think it could fulfill more than one challenge in these 7 challenges. So that would be great. The Little Prince follows the story of a prince who has fallen off his planet from the sky and now meets this pilot that has his plane broken down in the middle of a desert, and this pilot is trying to fix it, and he meets the little prince and they become friends and they talk about life. Yeah. It's great. It's amazing and it's very short, so it's a very good pick for a readathon. The third challenge is to read a book that inspired a movie you've already seen. I'm going with Animal Farm by George Orwell. It's also a short read. It's a classic. I watched the movie a few years ago in school and I can hardly remember it. I'm not even sure if this was Animal Farm or something else, but there were talking pigs, I think. So I just assumed that's the book. I actually don't really know exactly what's the point of this book, like what's the main plot. I just know we're on this animal farm. Oh, so these animals try to rebel against their human farmer, hoping to create a society where the animals can be equal, free, and happy. I'd really like to get to it in this readathon. So the fourth challenge is to read the first book you touched. And I kind of mixed this up a bit and I went online and I scrolled through my Goodreads like wants to read list and I just stopped and pointed my finger at the screen at one book. And that was We Told Six Lies by Victoria Scott, which is now resting on my Kindle waiting to be read during the reading rush. Okay, I kind of cheated in this challenge because I did this a few times in different pages and websites of books until I actually stopped on a book I want to read. But nobody said that was illegal, you know. Victoria Scott is one of my favorite authors of all time. I love her books and I've been wanting to read this one ever since it came out. Ever since she announced she's writing a new book, I was like, yes, I need to read it. And I'm so excited I'll be getting to it, hopefully. I really hope so. There are all these books I'm talking about I'm really excited to read, so I really hope I have a great reading week. This book, I think this book follows a character and his wife disappeared or something. It's a mystery thriller kind of thing. So his wife disappeared and he's trying to find her, and I guess there's some drama and yeah. Sounds cool, right? It sounds great. Of course it sounds great, and of course it's gonna be great because it's Victoria Scott. So the next challenge is to read a book completely outside of your house, and for this I'm going with Binti by Nnedi Okorafor. I hope this was okay. This book is, I think it's like a novella. It's 96 pages and it's a sci-fi fantasy thing where there's this black girl. Her name is Binti and she's the first of the Himba people ever to be offered a place at Umza University, the finest institution of higher learning in the galaxy. But to accept the offer will mean giving up her place in her family to travel between the stars among strangers who do not share her ways or respect her customs. I'm also gonna listen to this on audiobook and I'm really excited for it. And since it's so short, I don't think it'll be a problem for me to read it completely outside of your house. I mean my house, not your house. So I'm gonna read it outside of your house as well. The next challenge is to read a book in a genre that you've always wanted to read more of. And I combined the pick for this challenge with the first book I touched challenge, and that's We Told Six Lies by Victoria Scott. This is a mystery thriller thing and I've always wanted to read more of those. I actually tried recently but I couldn't get through it. But I have hopes in this one because, as I've mentioned quite a few times in this video, I really love Victoria Scott and her writing, so I have really high hopes for this book, and it's definitely part of a genre that I quite rarely reach for. And the last challenge is to read a book that takes place on a different continent than where you live. I don't live in America, so this is very easy actually, because most of the books, like I thought about it, most of the books I've read If they were not fantasy, they were set in America. So I could just pick a book set in America, and that's actually what I did. And this is the only book I currently own physically, and that's To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I have not read it. I don't know why. I tried and I failed. But now I have no excuses because it's part of the reading rush and I'm gonna read it. Yes. And I have no idea what this book is about. So, through the eyes of Scout and Jem Finch, Harper Lee explores with exuberant humor the irrationality of adult attitudes to race and class in the deep south of the 30s. I had this weird attitude towards this book that it's like very serious and boring classic, but so many people have told me I'm wrong. And so I just told myself, you know what, it's time to read this. It's very worn out. It's been read by many people, and I'm not one of them, but I will be one of them. I hope so. I really hope so. I really want to read this. It smells like a really old book, which makes it even better. I really want to read this. Gosh, I'm excited now. And I decided that if I don't have enough time to read an entire book, I'm gonna go with Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. This is another beloved classic. I've had many of my friends recommend it to me countless times. So I picked it up once and I didn't finish it. I got to more than a halfway, closer to the end than to the beginning. Hopefully, I don't know why I'm saying hopefully I'll get to it because it's not my priority still. I'm just gonna pretend that it's possible for me to read 10 books or something in a week when I have trouble reading one. I just need time to prepare myself mentally for some books. You know, they have to speak to me that they want to be read. I don't choose the books, they choose me. Yes. So these are all the books that I hope to get to in the reading rush. I'm really excited about all of these books, and I hope I'll get to at least one. At least one. I don't know which one it would be. No, I don't know. I guess I'll just see. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you're also participating in the reading rush and you can have fun making your TBR. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be such a great time. And I hope to see you soon in my next video. Bye!